Super Street, a real car game for real car fans. Now, as you know, the infamous Super Street Car magazine recently announced the fact that they're going to be going ahead and releasing their own game, their first game, having a crack at the video games industry across both major consoles, Xbox and PlayStation, as well as on PC by way of Steam. Now, I appreciate this is not new information, a majority of you watching this video probably know this already, but I keep being asked questions asking me as to why I've not covered this game thus far. The reason? Simple. I just wanted to sit back, take a deep breath and just really understand exactly what it is that these guys were trying to create, have a better understanding of the concept at hand and try to really get under the finer details of what their vision is for this game. Now, at this present moment in time, information is scarce, but from what I've been able to scratch together, from what I've been able to piece together by looking at their website, the information suggests that the developers are keen to bring across the same energy which made the magazine famous and implement it into the game, almost in a seamless-like fashion. So for those of you who don't know, the Super Street magazine is a magazine which is heavily focused on customization and modification of all sorts of cars. Basically, it's tuning pornography. If you like tuning and you get off on that sort of thing, which many of us do, that's why we play racing games, then that is the magazine for you. Now, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title of this video and in the description, whether it be by sheer coincidence or whether it was purposely done, I believe that this game has got the ability to expose the weaknesses and the flaws of its rivals and potentially even steal a whole gap in the market for itself. Now, aside from physics and handling, tuning and customization is arguably the most important and most crucial part of modern day racing titles. It doesn't matter if it's an open world racer such as Gran, Turismo, Forza or Project Cars, nor does it matter if it's an open world action adventure like The Crew or Need for Speed. The whole car community, whether or not you're one side of the fence or the other, or you're a part of both gardens, it's fair to say as a car community we all scrutinize this area of each game upon release. Now, those of you who are watching this video make up a very small portion of a very large car gaming community. Reading a lot of the comments that you guys leave on various videos and various forums, it's clear to see that quite a lot of you have had experience in tuning, upgrading and customizing your cars. People that know the difference between ceramic brakes and semi-metallic brakes, people who know the difference between an inline 4 and a straight 6, people of whom can constructively put up arguments both for and against sequential gearboxes versus DSG flappy paddles. The point that I'm getting at is this community, this gaming community that we have, is clearly made up of people who know what they're talking about, people who are intelligent in their knowledge when it comes to cars. So how exactly does Super Street the game expose the flaws of its rivals and become the ultimate car game for car fans? If we take the whole concept of tuning within the car and racing game industry and isolate it as an individual point of discussion, there's a very strong argument to suggest that in terms of tuning and upgrading your car as an industry, we have gone backwards. We've gone backwards. In 2007, one of my most favourite arcade games of all time, Juice 2, allowed you to do things like changing your induction system, swapping out the supplier for your exhaust system, transmission and your suspension, as well as your braking as well. It allowed you to change the components, upgrade them and select which brand to implement into your car's infrastructure. It also allowed you to strip unwanted parts off your car, putting it on a diet, thus making it better at handling and faster by way of weight reduction. Now, Need for Speed Underground 2 also had these features, as well as a dyno run to test your car's horsepower output. So even in that early stage of racing based tuning and upgrading, there was a level of sophistication and realism involved to how you improve the performance of your car. Now skip forward 10 years and we can see the Need for Speed franchise has actually dropped all of that in favour of what can only be described as a slot machine based gambling card system. Within the latest game in the series, Need for Speed Payback, you win part tokens, you spin the wheel, you have absolutely no control over the final outcome, and you're basically just sitting there wishing for a car with a numerical value. If it's not that, then you're driving into a part shop in which you're greeted with a whole load of colourful, what can only be described as cartoonistic Pokemon looking like trading cards on your screen, possibly being put in a situation where what you want isn't there and you have to wait for the shop to refresh. And no, Need for Speed is not the only game guilty of this. Even in a game which is aimed at simulation simulation-based races. The folk over at Polyphony, makers of Gran Turismo Sport, have also adopted a strange philosophy on car upgrading, whereby rather than actually buying a new engine, you actually have to acquire these things called mileage points throughout your career by way of winning races and completing tasks. And then once you've acquired these mileage points, you then start to allocate them to this leveling up based circular wheel. When the circular wheel fills up, it then goes up a level, and the more levels it goes up by, the more powerful your car becomes. There's no getting away from it. We've taken a step back. Everything has been dumbed down to a level which is borderline stupidity. And fellas, fellettes, chaps, this is where I feel Super Street the game has got an opportunity to knock a body blow and potentially deal some serious damage to its rivals. If we look at the actual on-screen images, these are the images that have been pushed out so far by the team behind the game, and as you can see, there's a huge focus on upgrading, swapping out and tuning. The opportunity to pick which tyre manufacturer and compound you go for. We've got Continental and Toyo here. The opportunity to swap your engine. Now, I'm not too sure what type of engines these are, but I would imagine the game gives you the opportunity to pick rotary, inline fours, boxers, etc. They also give you the opportunity to choose what coilover you go for. And again, it's fully licensed name brands with G-Ready and E-Back. Brakes are always essential. And for that reason, you've got to select between your Brembos or your Wheelwood brake packages, discs and calipers. Now, bearing in mind the people behind this are obviously behind the magazine as well, I'm pretty sure we're going to see more high-class name brands get behind this game, offering a wider variable of options and parts. Now, one of the devs working on the game goes by the name of Andrew Brown. Now, he's a gentleman who's actually been around the industry for quite a long time, and he's part of the engineering team for Super Street. He's actually worked on games such as Need for Speed Shift 2 and also had substantial input on the Unreal 4 engine, so it's fair to say he's got quite a lot of experience. On the website, he states, "I'm fully dedicating my time to the car park system for Super Street the game. This is a very dynamic and extensive system which covers all of the customization options. So basically, I'm laying the foundation so players can prepare their vehicle in just the way they want before starting to throw it around corners." He was then asked, how did you bring the Super Street DNA into the customization system? In which he replies, Super Street is all about personalizing your own ride. In the game, you'll be able to do this both on a technical and on a custom level. Each part you can customize your vehicle with has its own benefits that have an overall effect on your vehicle's performance. This means you'll be able to build a car that suits your driving style. In addition, you can choose how your car should look color-wise. This completes the whole tuner experience. So from his statements, coupled with the screenshots and the way in which Super Street are actually marketing this game at this present moment in time, I think it is safe to say there is enough evidence to suggest we may have a game which is a throwback to what we were playing yesteryear, last decade. Proper upgrade, proper tuning, proper engine swaps, real life brand manufacturers, thus picking up on the empty space that has been vacated by bigger franchises and therefore creating a space for itself within the racing games market. And that just about wraps things up for this video, guys. So as I said at the beginning, Super Street is something that you guys have been asking me to cover for quite a while now, but I wanted to wait until I had something credible to talk about, something that I felt would actually generate a topic of discussion. And I feel this is a good starting point. As always, I'm highly interested in knowing what your thoughts are. What do you think about the current state of tuning in games now? Are you happy? Are you disappointed? And do you think Super Street can bring the industry forward in this respect? Now, if you want to see more Super Street content on the channel, be sure to hit the like button. That will dictate whether or not I do another video or not. In fact, to be honest, I've got another video already shot and recorded, so you're most likely going to see that pretty soon. But anyway, if it's your first time around here, I wish you a born welcome. Be sure to subscribe and swing the damn hell out of the notification bell so you know exactly when the next video drops, and I will see you when the next video comes out. Take it easy, peace.